Here we go. Let's Speak Geek.
You're listening to the Geek Speak Radio Show.
On the Geek Speak Radio Show. Hey everybody, welcome to the Geek Speak Radio Show. Well, it stopped being really hot here in San Francisco. It's getting a little colder, a little darker at night. That can only mean one thing. It is my favorite time of the year.
It's the most wonderful time.
The most scariest time of the year. Welcome to the Geek Speak Radio Show. Yes, October is finally here. Welcome to the Geek Speak Radio Show. We are going to celebrate it all month long, as we always do on the Geek Speak Radio Show. My favorite time, Halloween, of course, is when we talk about ghosts and everything that goes bump in the night. But to me, and you guys know this, listen to the show, I talk about it whenever I can. Last year, we had Dr. Jeff Dwyer, PhD, paranormal investigator, writer, researcher, on to talk about his Ghost Hunters book series. Right now, we're going to talk to him again because the Ghost Hunters Guide to the San Francisco Bay Area is coming out in its second edition. So, Jeff, welcome back to the Geek Speak Radio Show.
Thanks very much. It's great to be with you, especially around Halloween.
Yeah, just perfect time for it, too.
Oh, yeah.
When can we expect the book out in stores? And everybody wants to know, when is it coming out?
Yeah, there's been a slight delay at my publishers in New Orleans, but the book should be out in bookstores probably by the beginning of the second week of October. So, somewhere probably around the 10th to the 14th, it'll be in bookstores.
And on our website at geekspeakradioshow.com, up on the link section, you guys can find a link to there. As soon as it comes out, you can buy it on there. As a matter of fact, I have not the second edition, but the first edition in my hands. Let me ask you, Dr. Jeff Dwyer, what is going to be new in this second edition?
Well, the second edition is about twice as long. When I wrote the first book in this series, the San Francisco Bay Area book, it was the first book I wrote on ghost hunting in this region. And because it was the first book with this publisher, of course, there's a limit on length. That's true for most writers. Once you get established as a writer, as I have now, and having 7 books published in this series, the limits on length tend to come off. So I was able to include a lot more places around the Bay Area. Added to that, some of the places I investigated years ago, I've gone back and conducted more investigations and learned more about spirits that occupy these places. So I've been able to put in a lot more detail. Also, I brought in a lot more detail from historical background, too, which tends to explain the paranormal activity.
Yeah, that kind of answered the question I was going to ask you, but I'll ask you anyway. So you do visit the actual locations that you talk about. You just don't just write about them, right?
That's right. I go to every spot that I write about. Many times I'll go there 5 or 6 times in the course of a couple of months, trying to pick up on as much paranormal activity or interview people who are at the site to get as much information as I can.
And when you're doing research, and since some of the locations in San Francisco and in the Bay Area, they are pretty old, is there a lot of records, or have some of them been lost, or how hard is it to do the research?
Sometimes we run into the 1906 earthquake and its aftermath. A lot of records in San Francisco were destroyed. Photographs were destroyed, that kind of thing. So, yeah, sometimes I'm following the history of a building back to a certain point, and after 1906, there's really nothing more except maybe an occasional photograph that might be picked up, or a designation of the spot on a map of the city in 1880 or 1890, something like that. So you run into the effects of the earthquake. That's the biggest drawback. But there's a lot of information about places around the Bay Area, in Oakland, for instance, the Peralta House, things like that, that's still fairly easy to find.
Yeah, I've noticed, I live here in San Francisco, in the city. There's a lot of renovations and new buildings being torn down and being put up. Does that affect paranormal activity in any way?
Actually, it can draw it out. Sometimes these ghosts are pretty quiet. Then the building they occupy gets knocked down and replaced by a newer structure, and that tends to arouse their curiosity, wakes them up, so to speak, and they may become more active, especially if they don't like the building that replaced the old house they were occupying. So we find this to be a very common thing where a new building, which would not be expected to be haunted, is having paranormal activity. And that's a really a good hot spot to go to, because that's a time when the ghosts have sort of renewed their energy and are making their presence known.
Yeah, and when we say paranormal activity, we're not talking about the movie now. So just so you
not
guys
the movie,
know.
no, not the movie. That I do like the movies though.
Yeah, me too.
I'm looking forward to the third one.
Yeah, so is everybody else. Dr. Jeff Dwyer, PhD, is a researcher and a real paranormal investigator. So let me have you tell everybody, once they get the book, including the second edition that's coming out, they're going to want to visit some of these locations on their own because of curiosity or because, like I said, 'tis the season for it. If they want to do that, what kind of advice would you give them?
Well, be prepared. It really helps if you have a little background information before you go off and visit places. If you just go off with a list of 3 or 4 spots that you want to visit in terms of addresses, you're going in there without much information. It's a good idea to read a little background material, look into the history of the place. A lot of spots like, for instance, the Hornet in Alameda, it's easy to research that online and read about some of its history, and you'll find out that there were quite a few deaths on board that ship. And having that kind of information really helps, especially if you can identify places within the ship where these things occur. If you go to a hotel in San Francisco, like the San Remo Hotel, built right after the 1906 earthquake, you can get some history on that place too. So when you go into it, you really know what you're looking for and where you're looking for paranormal activity. So be prepared when you go out to these places.
You mentioned this last time you were on last year, and do be prepared, everybody that's going to go out there. Don't expect anything to happen on your first visit, because they're not performers. Ghosts and apparitions, they're not performers. They don't come out on command, right?
Yeah, it's really an interesting thing. A lot of serious paranormal investigators have to go back to a place several times before they start to get credible evidence. And yet, on the other hand, a lot of paranormal experiences are completely serendipitous. People go to a hotel like the Queen Anne Hotel in San Francisco for a weekend, not thinking about paranormal activity, but they end up experiencing quite a bit of it. So it's really just a matter of luck whether you're going to experience something or not. But I would be prepared to go back to a spot a couple of times, 3 or 4 times. In fact, if you're really serious about experiencing the ghosts that are reputed to reside at a particular spot.
Yeah, and I would also suggest don't go alone just for safety's sake.
Yeah, it's best not to go alone. Moving around any large city at night, it's best not to be alone. But it really helps, too, if you have somebody else who can help investigate a spot. If you go aboard the Hornet, that's a big place.
Yeah.
You may miss something, but a companion you're with may pick up on a sound or something like that, or a cold spot that you can direct your attention to.
Yeah, so we're talking to Dr. Jeff Dwyer, paranormal investigator, writer, researcher. His book, Ghost Hunter's Guide to the San Francisco Bay Area, the second edition, coming soon to stores. Check the link on geekspeakradioshow.com when it comes out. You can get it on there. Now, before we take this quick break, Jeff, let me ask you, have you given any thought to what your next Ghost Hunter's Guide may be?
Yeah, I'm working on Portland, Oregon.
Okay.
I've actually started writing that. Most of my books focus on the West Coast, with the exception of my New Orleans book. And I wrote the New Orleans book for 2 reasons. My publisher is located back there, but also New Orleans is sort of the mecca for paranormal investigators and ghost hunters. It's considered the most haunted city in America by a lot of folks. So I wrote about it. But all my other books focus on California's gold rush country, the wine country, Los Angeles and Southern California, Seattle. So I thought it falls in line to do Portland, Oregon. So I'm working on that now.
Yeah, and I'm sure after Katrina, New Orleans is even more haunted now.
Yeah, a lot of people thought Katrina would sort of blow the ghosts away or the floods would wash them away. But actually, once things settle down there, paranormal activity is greater than it was before Katrina.
Yeah, so again, the second edition of the Ghost Hunter's Guide to the San Francisco Bay Area, those of you who have the first edition. Second edition coming pretty soon. Again, check the links on geekspeakradioshow.com when it comes out. You will know. I'm going to take a break right now. When we come back, we'll continue the conversation with Dr. Jeff Dwyer. Don't go anywhere.
The Geek Speak Radio Show will be right back.
listening to the Geek Speak Radio Show.
Yes, you are listening to the Geek Speak Radio Show. I'm Henry. Romo is hiding. He'll be here in just a few minutes when he using any excuse, the bathroom, whatever. You guys all know how he is with scary stuff, so he may come in, he may not. We'll see. But we are talking to Dr. Jeff Dwyer, PhD, paranormal investigator, writer, researcher. His book, Ghost Hunter's Guide to the San Francisco Bay Area, the second edition, coming out pretty soon. Keep checking the link up on geekspeakradioshow.com. It's in the link section. When the book comes out, you'll know, and you'll be able to get it right there. Now, Jeff, like I said, 'tis the season for everything that goes bump in the night. Last year, I forgot to ask you this, but you launched Spirit Publishing in July of last year, right? Tell us about that.
Well, I decided to start my own publishing company to help people who write paranormal books fast-track them into bookstores. The publishing process can be a really long one. Many conventional publishers can take up to 1 year from the date you submit your manuscript to the date a book is actually produced and leaves the printers. And that seems like a very, very long time. So I decided to open this company up and try to fast-track things. And we've got some things coming along. I have a textbook coming out on October 10th called The Art and Science of Paranormal Investigation. It's published by Spirit Publishing. And that will be on Amazon.com and making its way into bookstores. It's a large textbook that covers both the technical and psychic aspects of paranormal investigation.
And do you go looking for the authors or the writers, or do they come to you, or how do you find them?
They've been coming to me. Once I made the announcement on my website of Spirit Publishing and outlined what we can do for them, people have been coming to me. And, a lot of people write. Not everyone's really gifted at it. Not everyone is destined to become a successful author. But we have a service of helping people sift through ideas, develop outlines, and some people submitted full manuscripts, which we've looked at.
Yeah, so anybody listening out there, if you have an idea and you want to tell Jeff about it, you can go to our link section, geekspeakradioshow.com. There's a link to Jeff's website, and you can get all the information right on there. Also, Jeff is a paranormal investigator. You offer those services on your website also. Tell us about that.
Yes, I do. I'm a professional paranormal investigator, although probably the vast majority of the cases I do don't charge a fee. A lot of times people simply want to know, is there something paranormal in my house, or is it something else? So it's a matter of going in and debunking possibly loose pipes or a rattling window or something like that. So those kinds of simple investigations, I don't charge a fee. Generally, a fee is charged if there's a large venue. I've done wineries, for instance, wineries that are backed up by a large company, and they truly want to know what's going on, so there's a bit of a fee involved in that. But I do paranormal investigations all up and down the West Coast. I've gone back to Virginia, Florida, Texas, down to Arizona, New Mexico to do investigations.
Yeah, which leads to an appearance of yours that's coming up at one of the most famous haunted houses right here in the San Francisco Bay Area, in San Jose, California, at the Winchester Mystery House. You will be on an episode of the Ghost Adventures TV show on Travel Channel, right?
That's right. I think that's on October 14th, Friday night on Travel Channel. We taped it in August. It was really a lot of fun to get together with the cast of Ghost Adventures in one of my favorite places. A lot of people think that because Winchester Mystery House is a big tourist venue that it can't possibly be haunted, but in fact it is. I think you'll see that on this episode of Ghost Adventures.
Yeah, and what were you looking for when you guys went in there?
There's a lot of things to find. Down in the basement, there's the ghost of one of the workers who pushed a wheelbarrow around. He wears coveralls, and his job was to move coal from the coal chute over to the furnace. And he's been seen either as just a very transparent, wispy sort of humanoid shape to full-bodied apparition that looks completely lifelike. So we looked for him. Well, we were also upstairs in the Oriental bedroom, which is occupied by Mrs. Winchester's niece. We were there because I have a photograph of Mrs. Winchester, the ghost of Mrs. Winchester, in that bedroom. A lot of folks think that she's not in the house, and because her body's buried in Connecticut, but we have some photographic evidence suggesting she is actually in the house. And then on the switchback staircase, there is an electromagnetic anomaly there called a ley line, which may be part of the reason why this place is a portal for spirits that move in and out.
Man, that's just a little bit of what you'll see on the Ghost Adventures TV show episode at the Winchester Mystery House. October 14th is when you said, right, Jeff?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Friday night, October 14th on Travel Channel.
Yeah, check your listings and see when that is, or set your DVRs, either of the two. You also have another appearance at Barnes & Noble, a book signing, as a matter of fact. Anyway, before we do that, stay with the Winchester Mystery House. Two things. One, you're going to hear from the Winchester Mystery House. They have something special going on in just a few minutes when we finish with Jeff. And also, you will be there at the Winchester Mystery House doing a signing there. Tell us about that.
Yeah, I've got a book signing on the weekend before Halloween. I love going down to Winchester Mystery House. I've had about 6 or 8 book signings there, usually on Friday the 13th or Halloween. And it's really fun to meet with people who are like-minded enthusiasts about the paranormal. And people can pick up a book. I'll sign my books for them, and it gives us a chance to swap ghost stories.
Now, will they need tickets, or where is this going to be?
Well, you can come into the what they call the gift shop there and meet me and buy books and all that without a ticket. If you want to go on the flashlight tour, which they stage during October, you need to buy a ticket for that.
Yeah, and those do sell out, so I would suggest going to their website and getting tickets now. But if you want to just get your book signed at the Winchester Mystery House, don't need a ticket for that. And when is that happening again, Jeff?
I'm going to be there the October 29th, Saturday night.
So Halloween weekend.
Halloween weekend, probably from 7 till close to midnight.
Okay, perfect. Also, you're going to be at Barnes & Noble's, another book signing there. Tell us about that one.
Yeah, earlier that afternoon, October 29th, I'll be at Barnes & Noble bookstore in Fairfield for anybody up here in the north end of the bay, signing books, and I'll have all my books present, all the books in the series. So if they want to pick up the whole series, they can do that, or just pick up the most recent book, the second edition of San Francisco Bay Area.
Yeah, and you better start getting your arm loosened up for this, because there's another book signing here in San Francisco at Books Inc. Tell us about that one.
Yeah, that's going to be at noon on Halloween. I'm really looking forward to that. A lot of people take the day off, and if not, you can come by in your lunch hour and visit. I'll be there most of the afternoon starting at 12, signing books. That's downtown San Francisco, Books Inc. I think they call it Opera Plaza.
Yeah.
And that's going to follow my appearance on KFOG Radio, which I look forward to doing as well.
Yeah, that'll be on Halloween day, because it's on a Monday this time.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, the KFOG appearance, what time is that one?
I'll be on at 8 o'clock in the morning. And KFOG is one of my favorite things to do, like talking to you, and gives me a chance to sort of rev things up for Halloween.
Yeah, those of you not in the San Francisco Bay Area, KFOG is a very long-standing, very famous radio station, very cool station, too. You guys they'll probably stream it on kfog.com, or just put in KFOG and you'll find it there.
You can listen live at kfog.com, yeah.
Yeah, and also coming up in November is a convention you're going to be at, Paracon. It's a pretty cool one, actually. Tell us about that one.
This is an exciting event. It's the Preston Castle Paranormal Convention, which they shortened to Paracon. And this is going to be November 18th, 19th, and 20th, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And the Preston Castle is one of the most haunted venues in California. If you watch Ghost Adventures, Ghost Hunters, and some other shows, you've seen the Preston Castle. It's a huge building constructed as a juvenile detention center / prison. And it was used, I think, from about 1890 to about 1950. And, of course, a lot of incorrigibles went through there. There were some deaths that occurred. One of the staff members was murdered there. It's well known as a haunted spot. And I'm really looking forward to being there. Friday night we'll have a meet and greet, and then Saturday we're going to have book signings. Myself and other authors will be there. We're going to have a series of lectures, slideshows, that kind of thing. And then Saturday night we'll be in the Preston Castle itself, doing an investigation until the wee hours of the morning.
Yeah, and again, you were telling me off the air that tickets are going fast. So is there what's the website? Do you know where they can go?
Yeah, it's PrestonCastleParacon.com.
Okay, and all that's I'm assuming on your website.
Yeah, it's mentioned on my website. I think you can link right through to it. They really stage a good Paracon. The organizer of this is Doug Carnahan, and he staged a Paracon up at St. Mary's Hospital in Virginia City last March, which was a huge success. It was a lot of fun. So he really knows how to put these things on.
Yeah, so Dr. Jeff Dwyer, PhD, paranormal investigator, writer, researcher, and very busy person the month of October. Again, all the appearances are on his website. You can find those on the geekspeakradioshow.com. The link section, it's on there, all in one place, easy for you to find. So, Jeff, thanks a lot for coming on. We'll, again, when it comes out, Ghost Hunter's Guide to the San Francisco Bay Area, the second edition, you all will know. Go to the links, and it will be on there. So thanks a lot, Jeff, and have a happy Halloween.
Thanks very much. It's been a pleasure. Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye, Jeff.
The Geek Speak Radio Show will be right back.
Get ready to speak geek. People who get it, get it. This is the Geek Speak Radio Show.
And we are back on the Geek Speak Radio Show. Look who's in here.
It's me. It's Romo.
You really have to go to the bathroom, or you just...
No, I was a little scared. That's why I don't like this month.
It
I don't
is
like ghosts.
October. It is my favorite time of year, not yours.
No, it's
So
not.
you're gonna hear a lot of giggling from Romo. That's how he handles scary stuff.
It's true.
So we just talked to Dr. Jeff Dwyer, PhD. Again, his book Ghost Hunter's Guide to the San Francisco Bay Area, the second edition, coming pretty soon. The links are up on geekspeakradioshow.com. He mentioned while we were talking that he's going to be on an episode of Ghost Hunters, which was filmed at the Winchester Mystery House.
Ooh, nice.
Just so happens we have Shozo Kagoshima, the general manager of the Winchester Mystery House, back on the Geek Speak Radio Show. Shozo, welcome back.
Hey, well, thank you for having me.
No problems. Like I said, it is the season forward. So before we get into a special event that's going on this year at the Winchester Mystery House, let's get a quick history of the Winchester Mystery House.
Certainly. The Winchester Mystery House was the former home of Sarah Winchester, who was the heiress to the Winchester rifle fortune. And her father-in-law is the one who actually invented the Winchester Rifle Company, or started the Winchester Rifle Company. And as many people know, the Winchester rifle is probably one of the most famous firearms in American history because it revolutionized the rifle. And what it did is allowed for a person to fire multiple shots repetitiously rather than having to shoot and load individually. And so it became one of the most famous rifles and most popular rifles in firearms history. And the Winchester rifle, obviously, killed many people, including men, women, children, Indians, soldiers, throughout the life of the rifle. And it's these spirits that supposedly were haunting Mrs. Winchester. And after the death of her husband and daughter, very early in her life, she consulted a medium who told her that the deaths of her family were caused by the spirits of all the people killed by the Winchester rifle, and that the only way to appease these spirits was by building a home continuously, never to complete it. And so in 1884, she moved out from New Haven, Connecticut to San Jose, California, purchased an 8-room farmhouse, and she started building. She built 24 hours a day for 38 years until she finally passed away September 5th, 1922. And during this construction, 38 years of construction, her 8-room farmhouse grew into a 160-room Victorian mansion, which had 40 bedrooms, 13 bathrooms, 6 kitchens, and many bizarre oddities like doors and windows that open onto walls, staircases that go to the ceiling, and doors that open and just drop off 10 feet to the ground below. And the mystery of the house really is why did she build these oddities? Was it to confuse the spirits that she thought might be after her, or were they just some of her little building idiosyncrasies that she was continually building she never bothered to remove? We really don't know, and that's why it's called the Winchester Mystery House today.
The Winchester Mystery House is now a tourist attraction, but don't think that just because it is, that there are no ghosts there, because it is a real haunted house, right?
We have had people who have reported sightings, and Dr. Dwyer has actually been through the house before, and he's had experiences. I think he probably passed that on during his interview. But we've had employees as well as guests who have been in the house and seen images. One particular is a gentleman wearing overalls with a bushy beard who may have been one of Mrs. Winchester's former employees.
Now, I asked you last year, and you said you've never experienced anything yourself. Now, in the past year, have you experienced anything now?
No, I still haven't had any kind of personal experiences.
So kind of lucky there's. But if you do go, expect to see that. And what are the regular operating hours at the house?
We are open daily from 8 a.m. and starting here this weekend, last tour goes in at 5 p.m. But then at 6:30 we open for our Fright Nights, which is our new event this year for Halloween, which includes our annual Halloween flashlight tours as well as our new Curse of Sarah Winchester Maze.
And you can find all that on our links section, geekspeakradioshow.com. In the links, it is right there, the award-winning website to the Winchester Mystery House. Talking to Shozo Kagoshima, he is general manager of the Winchester Mystery House. Going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll get into Fright Nights.
The Geek Speak Radio Show will be right back.
This is the show where you hear everything geek culture.
Rules. We don't think so.
This is the Geek Speak Radio Show.
This is the Geek Speak Radio Show. Henry and Romo are here. Hey, Romo.
Hey, what's going on?
Quit shaking over there.
I am.
Something that's going to keep you guys shaking is something special happening this year, has been introduced this year at the Winchester Mystery House. Shozo Kagoshima, the general manager, is on with us. Shozo, tell us what's happening this year at the Winchester Mystery House.
Well, we have a new event which is called Halloween Fright Nights at Winchester Mystery House, and it's really two attractions. It's our normal annual Halloween flashlight tours, which takes people through the 160-room mansion with just the flashlight and their imagination as they're guided through the house and given the story about Mrs. Winchester and her house itself. And then we have a new attraction, which is called the Curse of Sarah Winchester Maze. And what it is, it's a new attraction that was built specifically for us, and it kind of ties into the story of Sarah Winchester and the Winchester Mystery House and gives people a nice, scary walk through the gardens.
Now, just so we're clear, do you need two separate tickets for this, or is it all under one ticket?
Well, they are separately ticketed attractions, but we do have a combo ticket. We have the Curse of Sarah Winchester Maze, where there's a general admission ticket, which is $20, and then we have a VIP maze ticket, which is $30. And then we have the Halloween flashlight tour, which is $45, but then we have combo tickets, which typically are $60 right now for this first 2 weekends. We have what's called Super Slasher Savings. If people go to our website, they can get a nice savings on the admission ticket.
And again, the link is up on geekspeakradioshow.com in the link section. All easy for you, all in one place right there. And Shozo, who came up with the idea for Halloween Fright Nights?
Well, the Curse of Sarah Winchester Maze was the brainchild of Brett Tomberlin, who's the president of a company called IDW, Imagination Design Works. And he and his team, including Jeff Scheffelbein, who is the creator of the Saw Maze, which they had at Universal Studios, and he's also done some mazes for the Queen Mary for their Halloween nights. And he's the one who created the themes and the concepts and the props for our Curse of Sarah Winchester Maze.
You know, I have a fact sheet here that tells me that there are 60 performers that bring the Curse of Sarah Winchester Maze to life every night. What exactly are those performers, without giving too much away, because we do want people to go there, of course?
Well, they're going to be there to add a little bit of, how should we say, scare factor into the maze as people walk through. And, they're going to be dressed in costumes and to kind of help terrorize people as they're walking through the maze.
Now, people will still have guides going through them, right? They're just not going to be left alone in the house?
Well, the flashlight tours, yes, are guided. The maze itself is a separate function, and that's out on the gardens. And so that's something where people will be going through on their own. There is a route that they'll be following, and that's where they'll be encountering the actors.
And good luck to you, because you're on your own out there. And when does this start?
This actually starts Friday night, September 30th, and we'll be running every weekend through the month of October, all the way up to Halloween night.
Now, is it just on the weekends, or is it every day?
No, just the weekends, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday nights, except for this first weekend where we'll be open Friday and Saturday. But after that, it's every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday through the end of the month. And actually, the last week will be open from Thursday, the 27th, all the way through to Halloween night on the 31st.
So again, that is Halloween Fright Nights happening at the Winchester Mystery House in San Jose, California. Those of you in the San Francisco Bay Area definitely have to go to this one. Just the Winchester Mystery House by itself is something to go to on Halloween. Maybe not for you.
No, it sure is. I've Shozo, thanks for this Winchester Mystery House is always interesting because every time I drive by it, I'm always a little scared because I know it's actually well known for the flashlight tour, and I'm really excited.
Yeah,
too.
key phrase there is he drives by.
Yeah, I drive by, I don't stop.
Yeah, so,
Exactly, yeah. Fright Nights, it will be an exciting time for us this year.
yeah, and again, if you guys don't want to go on the link section on geekspeakradioshow.com, I have a link to the award-winning Winchester Mystery House website. So Shozo Kagoshima, general manager of the Winchester Mystery House, thanks a lot. And let me mention also for all of you guys, on our YouTube page, there will be some videos we'll get to talk. You get to see, actually, literally, Shozo and some of the team behind the Fright Nights, and you'll see Romo how frightened he really is.
I'm not really that scared. I just run through it. Remember,
video doesn't lie. So Shozo, thanks a lot, and have a happy Halloween.
Well, thank you, and same to you all.
Okay, thanks. You ready to go?
I'm ready to go.
We'll be right back and talk some more Halloween. Maybe not. Stay there, you'll find out.
The Geek Speak Radio Show will be right back.
Don't make me angry. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry.
This is the Geek Speak Radio Show.
It is the Geek Speak Radio Show. Welcome back.
I like that sound clip.
Yeah.
Are you really angry?
No, it's music to calm you down. And welcome back to the Geek Speak Radio Show. I don't know, one of those moods I haven't eaten. So it is October, like I said. It is my favorite time of the year, not yours. You're going to giggle through this month of episodes.
Yeah.
At WonderCon earlier this year, we found something pretty cool, called Help,
I'm Alive.
Yes, a web series coming pretty soon to Help I'm Alive.tv. We spoke to both of these guys who we're going to hear now. First up is Anthony Larice, one more time, the creator, the writer, executive producer, and the star, plays Lauren in Help I'm Alive. Anthony, welcome back to the Geek Speak Radio Show.
Thank you for having me again.
No problem. So the first question I need to ask you from what we talked about last time is, how long is the beard now, or have you shaved it now?
No, it's coming up on a year. I think November 1st is a year, so it's pretty long.
Yeah, so now you know what Rip Van Winkle felt like.
I think he had a bigger problem than me.
Yeah, so again, like I said, the Help I'm Alive web series coming pretty soon to helpimalive.tv. The links are up on geekspeakradioshow.com. Anthony's the creator, the writer, the executive producer, and you'll also see him as Lauren. You've seen him in the trailer that was premiered at WonderCon, and it's up on the YouTube page. Also, from last time you were on, I spoke to you about a book called Handling the Undead. Did you ever get to finish it?
The bookmark that I have in it is like a quarter of the way through. I never actually got to finish the whole book. But you know what? From what I've read, I absolutely love it. And I have a little bit more time right now, so I think I'm going to finish it hopefully in the next week and a half, and then maybe I can let you know. Yeah,
Handling the Undead is a lot like Help I'm Alive. It's a different take on the zombie genre. And for those of you who are just hearing about Help I'm Alive, where have you been? We've been talking about it since WonderCon. But tell everybody, what is Help I'm Alive?
It's gonna be a sitcom length series online, based loosely around zombies. We're really not gonna talk about them too much. It's more about the survivors and how they're living life, and obviously the complications they're going to have once they find this stranger in the wilderness that they happen to run across, and their lives get a lot more complicated. But it's more a story about our survivors, how they're living, how they're keeping everything together, and then once we get Lauren shown into the picture, we really start to understand why everything is so messed up and why everything is going to hell. And plus, we can raise all kinds of questions that you'll be able to figure out in later seasons.
Yeah, and we're going to talk to Justin in just a few minutes when we're done with Anthony. And the last time Justin was on, he mentioned, he broke the news, actually, that John Philbin was just cast. Since then, you actually now have castmates. So tell us a little bit about some of your castmates.
Yeah, Justin had mentioned John Philbin was cast a little bit ago, which was awesome. We didn't expect to have him on, and as soon as he read halfway through the first episode, I think he was hooked, which was awesome. We do have a full cast. We have quite a large cast. It was going to be pretty small in the beginning, but now it's up to 13, 14 main characters now, which is a huge cast for us. But with shows like Lost and Heroes, where they have large casts, you can kind of see where everybody's story intertwines, and that's kind of what's going to happen with us. We finally all got together in one room and got a chance to meet and greet and read a little bit, and everybody has great chemistry. We have a little boy that's playing Sam, and he's just absolutely delightful. This kid is just the funniest kid I've ever met in my entire life, and he meshes so well with everybody. I don't think we have anything that's bad at all in our cast. Everybody's got great chemistry. Everybody works really well together, and everybody sounds amazing.
Now, everybody were actors before, or any of them, is it their first time acting?
I think the majority of us have done it for a while. There are a couple people that I believe this is their first time, and they did a great job in their auditions. They did a great job at our read, and I wouldn't be able to tell if they were veterans or not. They're very, very good at what they're doing, and everybody's putting in their 100%.
So good. Again, we're talking to Anthony Larice, creator, writer, executive producer, and actor. Plays Lauren in Help I'm Alive, web series coming soon to helpimalive.tv. What can our listeners do to help out Help I'm Alive?
The best thing you could probably do is just spread it around word of mouth. That goes a long way, and as we've seen here, just here at home, we've had a lot of response from just, having people tell the next person that they see, hey, go check this out. Other than that, we will have our Indiegogo campaign up in the next week. If you'd like to donate to that, it would all go to our production costs, and that'll help us get the season 1 started quicker than hopefully than we had planned, which should be awesome. So if you'd like to donate, we have plenty of perks up there online, from T-shirts to signed photos to walk-on roles in the show, which I know a lot of people would love to do that. And we also have some associate producer credits on there as well. If you feel that you'd like to donate a little more than what's on the Indiegogo. We're also going to be selling our merchandise page up on our website. Will be up in the next few weeks here. We do have the original WonderCon exclusive T-shirts that'll be up there, as well as a couple new designs that we'll be able to pull through as well. So that's a couple of good ways that, if you guys are really into it, that's probably the best way to do it.
Sounds good, Anthony. This is Romo over here. I just wanted to know, because I actually found out about you guys at WonderCon, and what got me your attention was the zombie babes. Now, tell me more about the zombie babes, if they're going to be at any of your conventions. Let's say, what can we expect as far as Help Them Alive? Are you guys going to be at any other future conventions?
Yes. We'll be at WonderCon again next year, and then we're looking into Comic-Con of the same year. So 2012 will be big for us. We'll be trying to get to all the conventions, so you can see us there. And yes, we're going to have our zombie girls there as well. They're always going to be following us around.
That was nice.
And so will the fans be following them around?
And the fans will be following them around.
Great marketing.
Nobody really cares about the show.
Yeah, and one more thing, I don't know if you guys knew, but WonderCon next year is going to be in Anaheim. It's not going to be in San Francisco because of renovations to the Moscone Center. So in case you guys didn't know that, that's what's going to be happening. The T-shirts, Indiegogo, what else can people do besides obviously interviews like this and just word of mouth spreading it out? What else can people do to help you guys out?
I mean, if we lately we've had a lot of people. Actually, instead of just word of mouth alone and listening to our radio interviews and whatnot, we've had a lot of people actually go online and tweet about it and throw it on Facebook and Tumblr, and there's a lot of social networking sites that everybody's really kind of pushing, and that has helped us a lot as well. So, I mean, if you're unable to, hit us up on Indiegogo, or maybe you're in a remote part of the world and you really don't have a lot of people to talk to, you can always go online and shout us out on Facebook, on Twitter. Check us out on our website. We have all of our information there. You can definitely throw links to that, and that helps a lot, especially with this, internet being such a powerful thing now. That's probably the best way we can get reaching out to people.
Yeah, you're right, because this year, something new we're doing here is the book club thing. I've talked to a lot of authors, not on the air, but off the air when we have conversations. A lot of them have mentioned that they don't like doing book signings anymore because everything is done online on the internet, like Anthony just said, through Twitter, through everything.
Yeah.
Hashtag help them alive, hashtag anything, and it grows like wildfire.
But one thing, Henry, is their T-shirts are really cool. Help them alive. The T-shirts that they have are really cool. So those are a really great way of marketing, because I know I'm going to get one.
Yeah, and all of you guys that want to get one or see them first, you can go to geekspeakradioshow.com. The link section, helpamalive.tv, is linked up on there. All easy for you. Give the guys a hand. Plus, hey, it's zombies. Who doesn't like zombies? And it's Halloween.
Exactly.
Yeah, so again, Anthony Larice, the creator, the writer, executive producer, and actor, plays Lauren in Help 'Em Alive web series, coming hopefully sooner rather than later. The helpamalive.tv. The links are up on geekspeakradioshow.com. Okay, Anthony, thanks a lot, and definitely keep in touch, and we will have you guys on as much as we can. We will spread the love on the show as much as we can also.
Definitely. Thanks for having me.
No problem. Have a happy Halloween.
Oh, you as well.
Okay, Anthony, thanks a lot. Okay, so there you go, young man. That is, again, Help I'm Alive web series coming. You guys found it at WonderCon.
Yeah, I did.
Did you see the trailer? It was at the time. It was exclusive.
I saw it. Yeah, I saw it. It was cool. I mean, it reminded me of any other zombie movie because I love zombie. That's really a cool horror genre that I love, and I'm really excited about it. It's something that I was kind of reminding me of just watching The Evil Dead or any of the. I mean, wow, what could I say? Do you like zombies?
Yes.
So you'll like Help 'Em Alive.
Yeah, I like anything scary. I mean, you know me. This is why this is my month. So again, helpemalive.tv is the website where you can see all of this stuff. Get the T-shirts. Help them out on their Indiegogo campaign. Make it all easy for you. Geek Speak Radio Show link section. It's all linked right there. Let's take a break right now and talk to the director of Help 'Em Alive. We'll do that in about 2 seconds. Maybe a little bit longer than that. You need to go to the restroom again?
No, I think I'm going to leave. See ya.
The Geek Speak Radio Show will be right back.
This is the show where you hear everything geek culture.
Don't be too proud of this technological terror you've constructed.
Now back to the Geek Speak Radio Show.
It is the Geek Speak Radio Show. I'm not Romo. He is. I'm Henry. He's Romo, shaking over there.
I'm not really shaking. Come on, I'm not really that scared.
Yes, you are. He's giggling. He's in the restroom every 2 seconds. He's scared. You guys all remember from last year how he handles all the scary stuff.
Yeah, I run.
Wait till you see what's coming later in the month. But we're going to continue. I can't talk now. We're going to continue with Help I'm Alive, the web series coming to helpamalive.tv. Talk to Anthony, who's the creator, writer, executive producer, and actor. Plays Lauren in there. Now, the man
behind the scenes,
guiding everything, Justin Berger, back on the Geek Speak Radio Show. Justin, welcome back.
Hey guys, thanks for having me, Henry. I know it's been a while, but I really appreciate you guys keeping us in the loop, keeping us in people's minds.
Yeah, we hadn't done shows in a while, but we do spread the love, like I told Anthony. We post about you guys, tweet about you guys as much as we can, and now that we're back on the air, we're going to tell everybody about it.
That's right.
So from the last time we spoke, what updates do you have, or where is Help 'Em Alive?
Help 'Em Alive, we've come a ways, not as far as we'd like, obviously, because we don't have our show on the air yet, but or on the internet, so to speak. But we have a full cast now, which is very exciting. We got I know last time we talked, we were going through the casting process, but we actually finished that up not too long ago, and we locked down a cast, which is awesome. I mean, it's just, we actually had a read through, which was great, and we had everybody, sitting around a table and going through the first 5 episodes, and just seeing the story come alive and the characters come alive was just really exciting for all of us. It was just really cool, and everybody was really into it, and that to me was a huge achievement for us, just to get to the point where we have our cast all sitting in a room going through the script. That was just a great moment. And beyond that, we're in pre-production right now. Seems like we're always in pre-production, but that's how it goes.
Yeah.
But we're planning on shooting. At the very least, we're going to be shooting the first episode this year and releasing it this year. That is our minimum goal. Our maximum goal is to shoot the first 5 episodes. And we're getting some stuff together as far as promotion. We have another Indiegogo campaign we're doing. We had our first one. We made money, not quite as much as we needed, but we had people pitching in, which was great. And we're going to be doing another one to see if we can't raise a little more money so we can, shoot at least the first 5 episodes. So yeah, man, a lot of good stuff happening. We have a prequel comic coming too, which is exciting.
Oh, that's new.
That's kind of in the development planning stages, but that's definitely something that people can look forward to if you're, comic fans. It's gonna be pretty cool. It's gonna be pretty sure it's going to be a limited edition kind of collector's item type thing, but it'll kind of get you up to speed on the backstory as to our world and our story of what's going on.
Now, I know you said it's in the planning stages, but is it going to be a print comic or will it be digital?
That's a good question. We haven't really figured that out. Ideally, we want print. I mean, that's just, there's nothing better than holding something in your hand and looking at it and flipping through the pages. So that really is our ultimate goal, but I'm sure... it's obviously definitely going to be digital version, but yeah, I think ultimately we would all like to see it in a print format.
Yeah, and those are big. I mean, a lot of the major movie releases, they do have a lot of. You and I, Romo, we saw at WonderCon where we met Help 'Em Alive. We saw Immortals.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
they're doing a prequel for their movie that's coming out in November or something. So yeah, those are pretty big. So yeah, definitely something exciting to look forward to there. The last time you and I talked, Justin, you mentioned that John Philbin was cast. Was he able to sit in on the first read with the rest of the cast?
Unfortunately not. He's down in L.A. We're up here in the Bay Area, and so, we don't have quite the budget to be flying people up for table reads. The next table read, though, he is going to be via the phone, the conference call, if you will. And we do want to start getting some promo photos done with the cast in full costume, and that might be the first thing we do before we even start filming, is just kind of get some promo photos up. We have photos of the cast up on the website now, but those are all basically headshots. We ideally want to get them in costume, in character.
Yeah, you beat me to that, actually. I was going to say the link is up on geekspeakradioshow.com. You guys can go on there and take a look at their headshots, take a look at the cast. But go ahead, Justin.
I was going to say, I think we really are casting the people we chose. I'm really happy with. I mean, it took us a while to really narrow it down to the people that we wanted that we thought fit the characters well. And when all is said and done, I think we really nailed it. Some of these people just are so perfect for these characters. I know Anthony, who has this whole vision in his mind. Of some of these characters, he was just blown away by how much they were like the characters he had imagined before we even started casting. So that was pretty exciting. But yeah, man, I also wanted to tell you we're going back to WonderCon next year, which is really exciting.
Yeah, Anthony mentioned that, and then I said, do you guys know also it's going to be in Anaheim this time around?
Oh, we did not know that.
Yeah, I got the press release last month, and it's going to be in Anaheim, only because there's renovations happening at the Moscone Center, so they're moving it to Anaheim for next year.
Which I think is going to be a big, big thing for everyone involved, even for Help 'Em Alive, because you're going to have a larger audience to attend.
It is, but then all the people in San Francisco, they're all mad because
now we have to travel.
Not everybody can go.
Well, I guess we all have to find a way to get there then.
Let's all carpool.
There we go.
Yeah, and these times especially. Yeah, that's all carpool. There you go. Yeah, good idea, Justin. So again, we're talking to Justin Berger. He's a director, producer of Help 'Em Alive, the web series coming to helpemalive.tv sooner rather than later. Anthony did mention, we talked a little about the new, his new castmates. He did mention that he really, really was impressed with, I forget his name, but the actor who's playing the little boy. Sam, I think his name is, right?
Yeah, Jacob Flores, who plays Sam Taylor. Amazing kid. I mean, just, he is on his game. I want to say he's 9. I think he might even be 10, but I want to say he's 9 years old. And, he came to the read, and the subject matter is a little adult, you know what I mean, on some levels.
Yeah.
And, we kind of had to talk with his mom ahead of time and just said, just want to make sure that, we don't scar your child or whatever. And she's like, oh, don't worry about it. He's been through far worse with his older brothers. So it was one of those situations where, he's mature enough, and his mom's great. She's not one of those crazy stage moms. She's actually a really great person, and we're very supportive of what he's doing. But, he took it all in stride, no issues whatsoever, and amazing actor. I mean, just nails it every time. I mean, Anthony was right to mention it because he really just blew us away, and we're really, really happy that we got him on board.
Yeah, and also, the last time you were on, you and I had a little breakdown of all the characters. Did you find the perfect actor for the scientist, the one that's a mix between Doc Brown from Back to the Future and Walter Bishop from Fringe?
I want to say we did. I want to say we exceeded our expectations. There's an actor by the name of Tom Kokenius, who's and by the way, these are all local Bay Area actors too, and he blew us away. I mean, we went through the first time I saw him. We went through probably like 5 different actors for that role. The first time that he came into audition, I was like, that's our guy. And the other guys were kind of like, well, let's wait and see, blah, blah, blah. And I was just like, okay. And I basically just kind of biding my time until it came to the end, and I could say, no, he's the guy. And, we had a little back and forth, but eventually everybody kind of came around and was like, yeah, you're right. He's amazing. And our casting supervisor, Karen Page, she was very adamant about him, and she was just, we were all just blown away. I mean, he nails it. He has a very unique look. It's not the Doc Brown look. It's not per se the Walter Bishop look. It's a little in between, but he's bald if you've seen the photo.
Yeah.
And but his presence on, when he's reading and just, I can't say on set because we haven't done it yet, but his presence is just amazing. And not only does he have the gravitas to totally draw you in, but he just nails the comedy aspects of it. Like, it's so subtle, but he does it so well that it's just, we were all rolling when we were doing the read through. It was great. It's the perfect accent to bring a little humor into the show.
Hey Justin, this is Roma. I just wanted to ask. I'm more curious with Help 'Em Alive. I was just wondering, what's the main theme behind it as far as this? Is this a post-apocalyptic, or is this more like a, how did this zombie thing come about?
Not to give too much away, what happens is a little bit of backstory. In 2012, which obviously is coming up next year, but in our world, 2012 there's an apocalypse. It's a viral apocalypse, and obviously zombies are involved. So we've kind of seen that before in other stuff, and it's really hard to escape it because how else are zombies going to spread? But 2012 there's apocalypse. Our story picks up 20 years after this apocalypse. It's like things have kind of already happened. The world's been through the ringer. There's really not that many people left, and our story is picking up 20 years after that point, where there's this group of survivors living in the mountains of Northern California and Santa Cruz Mountains who are trying to eke out a living, in a manner of speaking, and trying to survive in a world that's been devastated, and zombies are very much still around. They're not an immediate threat, I think, like I'd mentioned previously, but there are things that are a lot more dangerous out there that happen to our survivors.
Yeah, and we'll leave it there because you don't want to give everything away.
That's right.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, we don't.
But we want to tease you. We want to bring you in.
Exactly.
But we do have a complete backstory fleshed out, and the comic will explore that more. But we definitely have. There is a beginning to this story and an end, and throughout if we get the chance to tell the entire show the way we want to, we're looking at 4 seasons and hopefully a couple feature films. ideally. But this entire story would be told through all of that, and you would see that there's definitely a giant arc, connecting everything from the 2012 event all the way up to the end of the story.
Yeah, like everything else, it takes money to make it happen. So tell everybody about the Indiegogo campaign that you guys are starting.
Well, we were on Indiegogo previously, and for those who don't know, Indiegogo there's another website called Kickstarter. This is pretty much the sister site of that. It's a it's a website where people put projects up, and anybody can come check out the project. If they like it, they can contribute money to it. You get perks for whatever amount you donate. Donate $100, you may get like a T-shirt and your name on the credits, or if you donate $500, you could get a producer credit and a walk-on role on the show. I mean, those are some of the things that we're going to be offering, and it's just a chance for us to stay independent and to not have to compromise things, because we're able to take the money from fans and other artists who want to see this project come to fruition, instead of having to go to some studio or some producers who are like, okay, well, we're going to give you this money, but you need to do this and add this and change that and get rid of this person. So the beautiful part about it is we can stay independent and we can keep our vision the way we want it to be. But at the same time, this stuff costs money, like you said, and so we're really kind of reaching out to fans, not only of the zombie genre, but just fans in general of science fiction and and good television. I mean, good episodic television. It's like I think I've mentioned before, we have elements of Battlestar Galactica, Lost, Walking Dead. I mean, it's kind of a potpourri of all this different stuff. Like our favorite shows mixed into one really kind of potent story. And I think once we start to unleash this, I think people are really going to gravitate towards it and be like, wow, this is kind of the show that we've wanted to see for a long time. Because that's how we feel. We're putting this together. Those are all great shows and we love them to death. But the best part about this is we're able to take the best elements of those and turn them into one big ball of action, drama, sex, romance, violence, gore, and science fiction.
Nice. Well, I've been a fan of Help I'm Alive from the beginning, so I'm going to go to Indiegogo to donate, and I was thinking I could get my name under the credits for being the stuntman, so there you go. I'll give you $100. Maybe that'll work, right?
Yeah, totally. And, keep checking into helpimalive.tv, because the Indiegogo campaign is going to go up very soon, if it's not already up by the time this is airing. But that is the place to check us out for everything, helpimalive.tv. Check us out on Twitter, too, at Help 'em Alive Show, and, of course, on Facebook at /Help 'em Alive Show. And, yeah, man, we may end up doing some giveaways on your guys' radio show here, and maybe get some people dressed up as zombies for the show.
Yeah, whenever you're ready for that, just let me know. We'll make it happen here. And like I think it was you or Anthony mentioned the first time you guys came on after WonderCon, you guys were giving away a Blu-ray player and a walk-on roll, and people actually got more excited about the walk-on roll than the Blu-ray player.
Yeah, exactly. I get to be a zombie? Oh, my God. People were signing up. We had a raffle, and we were giving away all these prizes, and the grand prize, what we thought was the Blu-ray player, and which was actually donated by Sony. One of our producers, David Shatnoff, actually works for Sony, and they were gracious enough to donate a Blu-ray player for us, and we thought, well, that's a great prize. But once people found out that you could actually win a role as dressing, being done up as a zombie and walk on a series, that was what everybody gravitated towards.
That's what I want. Instead of the stuntman, I want to be a zombie.
Yeah. Hey, you're in. No problem. We're gonna need. There's a couple episodes kind of towards the middle of the series where we have quite a few zombies we're gonna need to fill the shoes of.
Yeah, and I want to tell everybody out there, all our listeners right now, everybody who's downloading the podcast and follows on YouTube, everything, if all of you guys just give $1, all of you, that's more than enough. That's all you have to do. That will definitely help.
Or $10. Just skip Jack in the Box this week and give us $10. We could.
Yeah, definitely anything. We'll keep spreading the word here. Have you guys on as much as we can. Maybe we can get some of the cast members on and have them speak a little bit about their roles, whatever they're allowed to talk. But Justin Berger, director, producer, Help 'em Alive, coming to sooner rather than later, hopefully. HelpI'mAlive.tv, linked up on GeekSpeakRadioshow.com. Justin, thanks a lot. We'll keep in touch. We'll definitely let everybody know what's happening with Help 'Em Alive.
Thanks, guys. You guys have been big supporters. We really appreciate it. And whatever he needs, let us know.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the reasons why I created this show. I mean, it's fine to talk like to the Walking Deads and the Chloe Moretz and all those guys, but us, the little people, if you want to call us that way, we deserve some screen time too. We want our
we do.
15 bandwidths of fame, I guess you could say now. So
Totally.
So we'll definitely be supporting you in any way we can.
Awesome. We really appreciate it.
Okay, Justin. Again, Justin Berger, director, producer, Help 'Em Alive, helpemalive.tv. Check the links on geekspeakradioshow.com and get involved. Thanks a lot, Justin. Have a happy Halloween if we don't talk to you before then, and we'll keep in touch.
All right, man. Thank you.
The Geek Speak Radio Show will be right back.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, for our next attraction.
Back to the Geek Speak Radio Show. Now back to the Geek Speak Radio Show.
And we're back on the Geek Speak Radio Show. Hey, Romo.
Hey.
How are you?
I'm doing good.
Back from the restroom?
How do you know?
That is code for I'm scared, get me out of here. So we are talking a lot of Halloween stuff. This is the month forward, finally. You're going to hear a lot more stuff. It's not going to be all Halloween. Those of you who are saying, too much ghost stuff. It's not going to be every single episode. Well, maybe. It is me after all. But we do have some pretty cool things coming up in the next episode and for the rest of the month, as a matter of fact. But I am going to ask you guys for some suggestions on haunted attractions in your cities. We are really all over the world, but we're all over the country. So anything that you guys like, any haunted house, any haunted attraction, anything like that, let us know. Send it over to Henry at geekspeakradioshow.com or Romo at geekspeakradioshow.com. When you send it to Romo, make sure in the subject you put boo.
Well, it is true, though. There is a lot. I mean, there is a lot of ghosts all over this earth, so.
To his chagrin. So let's do the book club, the Geek Speak Radio Show book club. You picked Tony Pachiti's My Best Friend is a Wookiee last week.
Yeah, I did.
Links are up on geekspeakradioshow.com in the book club section. This week, I picked something that I read last year, and I kind of hinted at it because I mentioned it to Anthony Larice. That's a book called Handling the Undead. It is from the same author who wrote Let the Right One In. I'm going to try his name. I hope I don't butcher it too bad. It's John Navijay Lindquist is his name.
Good job.
Again, it's called Handling the Undead, and yes, it deals with the undead, with zombies. However, and I don't want to give too much away. You guys do, those of you who have read it, you know this already. But if you haven't, go get it. It's in your local library. I know that because I see it every time I go to the library.
Mm-hmm.
It takes all the rules, all the zombie rules that we know of, including what you see in The Walking Dead and George Romero's, of course, in Resident Evil, the video games, all those, shoot him in the head, all that stuff, and throws it out the window.
What?
It's a completely different story.
So
it does have the undead, and it actually makes sense.
You're going to stop them then? I mean, you're going to have to shoot them somehow.
Well, that's the thing, is you may not want to stop them.
I'm going to have to check it out.
Yeah, again, it's called Handling the Undead by John Navijay Lindquist, author of Let the Right One In. That was another really good book. But this one, he's turning into quite a horror genre writer. He's got this one, he's got Handling the Undead, and he has a new one. I forget exactly what it's called, but also horror. Short story, but another horror-based story.
Yeah, Let the Right One In was a good one, too.
Yeah. You talking about the movie or the book?
Oh, both. I know they're completely different, but even the U.S. version, too,
Well, you
is
saw
different.
the movie first, and then you went and picked up the book.
Yeah.
So that's my choice this week for the Geek Speak Radio Show book club. Again, I welcome your suggestions. I changed it. They don't have to send them to you or to me anymore. There is a specific specific email just for that now.
Oh, nice.
It's books@geekspeakradioshow.com. Just send it on there and we'll get it. Like these. Hang on. Had to get it from the printer. Like these. I decided to include these because they were pretty cool. And I will take this into consideration. The first one, The Last Apprentice series by Joseph Delaney. It was sent by Allison Hardy from Los Angeles, California. She did put in parentheses, it's a series. I think she said 7 books. I didn't print that part out. But it's called The Last Apprentice. She said she did say it's in the kids section, but don't let that throw you off. It's pretty good. Another one, just mentioned it, Let the Right One In. The book, he is it a he? I think it's a he. It's from book spook _316 in Medford, Oregon. He says, let the right one in. The book, not the movie, the book. And he said it like 3 times. By John Alvey J. Lindquist. I just mentioned it. So we maybe we'll include that one. This one was sent by Bill_TH in Orlando, Florida. It says, Star Wars Choices of One by the great Hugo Award-winning Timothy Zahn.
Nice.
So yeah, I did actually want to pick that one up, but I can only read one per hour, one book per hour. Yeah,
you read that fast.
Yeah, and this other suggestion I actually have heard a lot about, so we may get to this one. It's called Ready Player One by Ernest Cline. That's was actually sent by a few people, but these two got him first. Dan Markson, I think, and also in Orlando, and Maggie_G in Boston, Massachusetts.
What's the name of the book?
Ready Player One by Ernest Cline. I've been hearing a lot of good things about it. Don't want to get too much into it because I do want to go into
sounds like a gaming book, though.
Spoiler-free. It's that, and also has a lot of references to 80s pop culture.
Nice.
So you'll like it.
I love it.
Probably has something that says, "Where's the beef? Roads. Where we're going. We don't need roads and things like that." And of course, may the force be with you.
Yeah.
So there you go. Keep sending them. Again, a new email, books@geekspeakradioshow.com. Books@geekspeakradioshow.com. Suggest anything as long as they are a book. No comic books, no graphic novels. You tried to sneak one in, but no, can't do that. And as long as they're in the science fiction, fantasy, or horror genre.
What about romantic?
Romantic science fiction.
All right, there you
romantic
go.
Horror. There you go.
You know, there's a lot of readers that love just romantic novels.
Well, I have said mashup of all those genres.
Huh. All right, cool.
Subgenres of all those.
Yeah.
So there you go. What did you call it? Romantic?
Yeah.
Just don't give us stories about vampires that sparkle. Those we won't take. So that's what we'll take. Again, books@geekspeakradioshow.com is the email. Suggest them. Got some over here, so I do read them and do take them into consideration. All right, Romo, I need you to do something.
What's that?
I'm not going to have you be part of this next segment. Last episode, we spoke about the DC New 52 and Miles Morales.
I remember.
I cleaned out mine. I may read a few emails. I know you mentioned the first thing when you walked in today is, hey, why did you give out the email for? My email is my inbox is flooded with Miles Morales reactions.
Yeah, a lot of. You'll be surprised, dude. There's a 50-50 on this whole Miles Morales issue. People love him. People hate him. Not that surprised actually. But tell you what, while I do this, ironically speak about comic books. While I do that, why don't you go to your inbox, clean some of them out, pick some of the good ones. All right, we'll do.
Print them out. And we'll share them before we end this episode. So go ahead and do that. While Romo does that, we will do this.
Comics Commentary with David Lee on the Geek Speak Radio Show.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the inaugural podcast for Comics Commentary with me, David Lee. For this first inaugural podcast, I'd like to go ahead and talk about two things that are very near and dear to my heart: comic books and video games. A lot of the times, they're like oil and water. You get video games that go to comic books. Some of them do okay, like the Gears of War series, the Halo series. Some of them don't transfer that well, like the Mass Effect series. On the flip side of the coin, you have comic books that go into video games, and about 10 out of 12 times, you end up just getting kicked in the stomach. Games like Superman Returns, Iron Man, Iron Man 2, Marvel Ultimate Alliance 2, just to name a couple. Licensed games, about 99% of the time, suck. And here's why. You get the developers and the directors for the video games that are saying, well, we want to make the money. We need to make the money. It has to be done now. And they sacrifice a lot of the comics canon. The comic book canon has years upon years, especially if you look at Marvel, DC, characters like Superman, Batman, the X-Men, Spider-Man. They have years of canon put out there for everybody to read. But yet the developers and the directors for the video games, they only choose bits and pieces, and they never work. The game engine often fails, and it just ends up in a very lackluster release. Some games, though, are the exception to the rule. games like Batman Arkham Asylum was absolutely stellar. It was actually rated Game of the Year in some places, and game sites like IGN, they gave it a 9.0, I believe. Games like that definitely pick up and play. They actually hold very well to the canon. The developers showed love for the character in the fact that they brought almost the entire animated series cast in for vocals. So you had Kevin Conroy voicing Batman, Mark Hamill voicing Joker, Arlene Sorkin voicing Harley Quinn. All of these in a video game that actually almost made it feel like Batman the Animated Series. When you have labors of love like that, the video game turns out well, and it's a rare exception in the licensed video game world. But a lot of the times, it just fails. Games like the upcoming X-Men Destiny. Personally, myself, I think it's going to bomb. Why? Because there wasn't really much put out about it. It's going to seem very repetitious. In fact, I read something on IGN.com the other day saying that a lot of the combat's repetitious. Not something I'm interested in an X-Men game. Personally, me, I want to play as my favorite character, Cyclops. I love him in the comics. I don't care what they've done to him. Yeah, he's become a little bit of a dick in the recent comics with Schism, Generation Hope, Second Coming, Civil War, Dark Reign, Secret Invasion. You name it, they've kind of turned Cyclops into a bit of a chump. I still want to play him in the games. I don't want to play as a custom character. Listen, if all of my listeners here are hearing this, perhaps you share the same thoughts as I do. We want to play a licensed game that doesn't suck. Please, stop making licensed games that suck, developers and publishers. We need decent games, that way we can buy them, we can play them, and we can love them. Pay attention to your canon, pay attention to your comics, pay attention to the fans, and then put that love into the video game. And this is David Lee with Comics Commentary. Thank you for listening, and keep reading those comics and playing those games.
Geek Speak Radio Show will be right back.
You're listening to the Geek Speak Radio Show.
Spider-Man does whatever a spider can. Spins a web any size, catches thieves just like flies. Look out!
Here comes Miles Morales. Welcome back to the Geek Speak Radio Show. Ready to close it off for this week. So, young man, what did you get on your from your email inbox?
All right, I got a lot of...
Hope you cleaned it out.
I did. They got a lot of 50-50 people either for Miles Morales or against him. Here we go. Let me jump right into it. So this is coming from our comments on our YouTube page. It says, hey guys, give Miles Morales a chance. He may surprise you. And I didn't get his user ID name on his YouTube thing. I didn't think that would even matter. Rick in Seattle, Henry, I agree with you. If Marvel Comics is the house of ideas, couldn't they just create a new universe for Spidey Boy?
Spidey Boy?
Yeah, which I thought was kind of clever. Which I thought they should have changed Spider-Man.
Could be another word for that too, but we're not going to take it there.
All right, so this is Stephen L.A. Miles Morales is a perfect character that represents our current times. As a biracial guy, I want to see a superhero I can relate to. Now, Nick in San Francisco says, I wonder who Miles Morales' villains are going to be, which I'm actually thinking the same thing too.
Yeah, you said it many times last week.
Yeah, so we'll see where that goes with Miles Morales.
That's all you got?
I mean, are you going to... Yeah, that's it. But are you going to go get the second issue?
Yeah, it's right here. Where is it? It was here. You probably took it, put it somewhere. But that's all you got?
Yeah, that's all I got. Yeah.
Okay, but again, if you guys want to keep... one of our most downloaded, we only had 3 so far, but one of our most downloaded shows definitely sparked a, not controversy, but just conversations.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully it didn't spark any fights.
Within the geek universe.
If you're a listener, hope you won. Oh!
What?
One thing. You guys keep hearing the comics checklist that we play here. How would you all like to be a part of the show? And that is, I am looking for new voices. Could be girl, could be guy, could be a combination of all the above.
Or the voices in your head.
We can't record them. But if you can, hey, Dad, I want to see that. But send me an email, henry@geekspeakradioshow.com. Let me know, hey, I want to read the comics checklist on the air. And we won't do it live. It's a podcast. We can't do it anyway. We'll get in contact with you. I'll send you the list, and you'll read it. And guess what? You'll be part of the show.
Cool.
You can tell all your friends, hey, look, I'm on the Geek Speak Radio Show.
Now, is this going to be a weekly thing where we'll change it up where fans could be a part of the show?
Maybe. Depends on the kind of response we get to it. If not, you'll keep hearing the same voice, which is a mystery who that is. It's somebody on our staff, but we'll keep it mysterious. So that's the one thing. If you want to be a reader of the comics checklist on the air, let me know, Henry at geekspeakradioshow.com. We'll take it from there. The other thing, our YouTube page. Go to YouTube/GeekSpeakVideos. On there, of course, you hear the shows archived and interviews and everything on there. This week, you will also get some supplemental material. We got to go and experience Fright Nights at the Winchester Mystery House. So there is some video, exclusive video, because you're not allowed at the video or do anything during tours, or especially the flashlight tours. We got that. We have some video of the flashlight tours. I'm not going to show you too much because we do want you to go, but you can get a little taste of what Shozo Kagoshima was talking about earlier this episode on our YouTube page. Also, just did Ape 2011. As we're recording this, we're probably, if it's Saturday, we're at Ape. Or if you're listening to this on Monday, then go there to
Probably
YouTube.
A lot of our listeners don't know what Ape is, or they do. But
the Alternative Press Expo.
Yes, same people that put on WonderCon, guys, and Comic Con.
Yeah.
Just a little smaller for everyone that's trying to get into the business.
Yeah, so a lot of interviews with some of the creators on there. Look for those also. Oh, don't forget, Geek Girl Con happening in Seattle. That's the weekend of October 8th and 9th at, where's my piece of paper? I had it here. In the Seattle Center Northwest rooms, October 8th and 9th. All the info, geekgirlcon.com. And we'll put a link up on our Facebook and on Geek Speak Radio Show in the links section. And again, Geek Girl Con, support them. All pretty cool. We've had Kiri Callaghan. We met, actually, without even knowing she was sitting next to us last year when you and I went to the Charles M. Schultz Museum.
Yeah.
Jen K. Stuller, who was the program director, was sitting right next to us. Very, very, very cool person. So go on out there. You'll have a lot of fun.
Follow us on Twitter at GeekSpeakRadio1.
Yeah, the number 1.
Yeah.
Don't spell out 1. You can, but you'll probably be following somebody else who's not really a geek. So all that stuff is on there. The Facebook, you guys do that already as it is. Anyway, Haunted Suggestions, actually got some while we're doing the show. And I hadn't even asked for them yet, so I guess you guys know what I like. And you're sending some suggestions. Attractions could be anything like that. It could be an actual haunted place, like there's I forget the sanatorium that you and I mentioned last year. I think it's in Pennsylvania somewhere, or Ohio. So I forget what it's called. That's what it means when I say I forget.
Yeah,
that means I can't remember.
No, I know, but I don't remember either.
So there we go. We both have Alzheimer's, so things like that.
Yeah, urban
legends from your city, from museums, schools. Here in San Francisco, we heard it from Dr. Jeff Dwyer. There's a lot of old buildings, and I told you this a few years ago. San Francisco was actually built over Indian burial ground, so a lot of things happen here. Like that shadow behind you, it's just a lamp. Relax.
Even Alcatraz Island has a lot of ghosts on there.
Just getting ready to
and
take
they also
his
have a flashlight
off
tour too. I want to go so bad.
Yeah, so do that. Next episode, well, you're just gonna have to find out when we do it. So, till then, Romo, any final words to say?
I'll be back.
All right, yeah, I can really feel the scare on that one. Some more Halloween stuff coming next week also. Be here or be square. Bye.
That's all for this week. The Geek Speak Radio Show will be back next week with a brand new episode. In the meantime, follow them on Twitter at Geek Speak Radio 1. That's Geek Speak Radio, the number 1. Become a fan on Facebook. And don't forget to subscribe on iTunes. If you like this episode, wait till next week. And tell all your friends, too. This is the Geek Speak Radio Show.